Yeah, we live. Hit the like as you come in. Getting straight to it. We had some very good fights on last night. I don't know, man. Shiraz, that knockout Shiraz had, even though I didn't pick him to win, people were shocked by that knockout last night. I wasn't shocked. Once he threw those first two hooks early, I was like, yeah, he throwing some knockout punches. And Berlanga was just walking straight to it. I don't know if he didn't know if Shiraz was in that mode or not. It always remind me of Tim Tszyu and Baccarat. I don't know if he didn't know he was in that mode or not. But it reminded me of Tim Tszyu and Baccarat, the way that fight went. It's like Berlanga was stuck in the first gear and Shiraz was already ready. He was locked in before the fight even started. And then I seen later on, earlier that day, Berlanga posted videos dancing on fight day. If I would have known that, yeah, I would have had my mind changed by then. But Shiraz was locked in the whole time. And it was a good performance, man. Came out with a sharp jab. Yeah, man, he definitely showed up. And a lot of things that people said about him being stronger at 68, it's true. What's up, John? Yeah, it was a good night last night. Friday was good too. Yeah, last night was good. Yeah, last night was a good night for boxing. I can't even lie. To end it with a knockout, yeah, that was a perfect night. You know, the decisions wasn't perfect, but it is what it is. It was good. Dudes got paid, so I know they're not tripping. But yeah, it was a good fight, man. It really was. I'm looking at this weekend and I'm like, this weekend gonna be better. I don't know if I'm gonna start talking. Well, I'm gonna have to tomorrow. I'm probably gonna have to start talking about it tomorrow, depending on how the week looking. But yeah, for sure he was. Yeah, he been looked at as a hype job. He had a chance to get out of that spot for a minute because a lot of people already had a problem with him being main event, but he just can't get out of that. He can't get that dark cloud from over him, bro. He just can't. He still got the same label. They gonna still look at him like a hype job. Yeah, it's gonna be hard for him to find some matchups, man. A big fight like that, it's gonna be hard for him to be in. Yeah, that was crazy. That wasn't a good performance. That's why I said before he fought Canelo, the guy he fought before he fought Canelo, I said, man, that's not the kind of guy you fight before you get a Canelo fight. And stuff like that is coming back to hunt him. Dude is not prepared, man. You fighting people who fight animals. It's a rod to fight animals. Like I said a couple of days ago, I said Shiraz is only 26 years old. Most guys at his age, not really just jumping in fights like that. So yeah, Shiraz only being 26, just moving up to 168. And I talk about him a lot on this channel. Like, bro, he legit. Like, dude is legit. 6'3", 6'4", real power, can box. I'm telling y'all right now, if y'all go back and watch that fight with Shiraz and Adames, everybody hated me for saying this. Everybody was like, yeah, he was running. I'm like, bro, he was not running, man. I'm telling you. If you go back and watch the fight, every time Adames was about to knock him out, Shiraz would throw a quick uppercut, hook, the same punches that he was knocking Berlanga down with. He was throwing those on Adames, but Adames got a good chin, so he made it look like it was nothing. So the average person just looking, they like, oh, Adames ain't getting hit with no big shots. Adames was getting hit with them same punches. And he was just walking through them. But he stopped because he knew, oh, these power punches. I can get knocked out with one of these. So yeah, he really didn't get credit for that what he did in Adames fight. He looked trash, but I'm telling y'all, if you go back and look at that fight, every time Adames pressed the gas and was about to knock him out, Shiraz started boxing. Boom, boom, boom. Because you gotta think about it. If he was really trash in that fight, he would have got stopped. But it just shows that he can fight on the back foot. He can fight on the front foot. I was like, oh man, this dude's tall. He can box. He can box though. He can box. Yeah, just because a guy's young, he looks bad against a elite fighter. Yeah, he ain't gonna be trash to me. But I thought Berlanga could have got the job done though. Him waiting, you letting a guy like that throw power jabs for 4 rounds, then you start trying to play catch up. No, that's the same thing Tim Tszyu did against Baccarat. I don't know why guys like that. I don't know why they do that type of stuff. And the crazy part is, after seeing Berlanga do that, I'm gonna have to sit back and pick between Fundora and Tim Tszyu this weekend. And Tim Tszyu is like in the same spot as Berlanga right now. So it's like I picked Fundora last time at the last minute, but he kind of in the same spot. The way he was taking those punches was kind of, I don't know, man. It looked bad. It's like the first time he got hit with a real shot. Because early on, I don't know if everybody missed it, but they was throwing some punches early on, and he ducked like 2 hooks. I didn't have the volume on, but I seen it. I was like, whoa, those are like some knockout punches. And I said on the commentary, man, he might get knocked out soon. And I think the next round he got dropped. Went out there boxing like an amateur, man. You can't be doing that. That dude got to get some rounds, bro. If he gonna be 1% better in the future, he gotta get some rounds in. He definitely gotta get some rounds in. He's telling you, it caught up to him. Him not fighting enough, it caught up to him. I think that Canelo fight overshadowed everything else he had going on. If you look at everything else Berlanga had going on outside of the Canelo fight, he stunted his growth a little bit. Well, a lot, to be honest with you. And then what also worried me was, and I'm not usually somebody who criticizes a guy because of stuff like this, but Berlanga looked kind of fat around his ribs and stomach. I'm like we just seen Berlanga fight Canelo, right? He didn't look like that against Canelo. I know I'm not tripping. And this is not an excuse. This is something I noticed. Because if I had a chance, I would have changed my pick in the middle of the fight. Like the first round. Before anything even happened. When I seen him in the ring and he had those handles around his hips, I'm like, why does Berlanga look like that? He looked very overweight last night. Yeah, he looked out of shape. For a fight that big in hometown to look out of shape like that, that can't be. I don't know if people seen that. That's not the same body type I seen in the Canelo fight. It's not the same. But he has the same kind of game plan each time. And I think that's what's hurting him right now. Of course he don't start fast. But he's waiting and lurking, trying to see, all right, when my opportunity gonna happen as far as trying to catch this guy. I don't know if it's with a one shot he's looking for. But for him to have a good jab, and I noticed something too. I don't think he had the stamina last night to just jab early on. And he's an athletic guy. I don't think he had the stamina early on those first 4 rounds to even keep up by just jabbing and moving. That's why I say, yeah, he was just moving forward in the same position, and he was kind of stuck flat-footed. But he wasn't in shape to be moving around. He didn't look like he was in shape. He did not. So the knockout was going to come regardless. And the more I think about it, with the way his body was, he had no chance. But yeah, Sheeraz showed up, man. He had a good fight. I thought the performance was great, man. And to me, he's like a superstar because I don't know how old he was when he fought Adamas, but for him to be the age he is and to move the way he is, a lot of guys is not moving like that. He's the same age as Keyshawn Davis. Sheeraz is. When I say this guy's moving, he's moving. So he fought Adamas, he fought Berlanga. He gonna fight another big name. He was supposed to fight another big name. And now they're talking about him with Canelo. So yeah, he's gonna have a good resume when it's all said and done. And he just made 168 even better. And you got a lot of guys the same size as him and that could punch like him in that weight class. So it's a lot of good matchups. I even heard somebody mention him with Benavidez already. And he's only had one fight at 68. Only had one fight at 68. So yeah, that's definitely gonna be good for him though. Because I know he's one guy that'll fight anybody. Somebody said recently that he was ducking a fighter last year. Well, a lot of people said that he was ducking a fighter last year. Man, this guy fight anybody. He'll fight anybody. And he was locked in. He looked a lot better last night though. But he's a very good boxer. Very good boxer. I can't believe Berlanga couldn't take that power on them punches like that. I wouldn't say he's chinny, but man, as soon as the power started getting thrown around, he couldn't handle it. Yeah, that fourth round getting dropped twice like that, it was crazy. This man got dropped twice like that. Tell you, it looked just like the Tim Tszyu fight. These guys coming out flat. There been a lot of fights where guys have came out flat like that, You know, you can say Zhang and Joe Joyce, but I think Joe Joyce couldn't handle the power. I don't think he got caught off guard. But Joshua got caught off guard like that against Dubois. Yeah, it's been a couple of fights lately where people have been caught off guard early. Yeah, that was crazy, man. Sheeraz, he's a dog though. He's definitely a dog. They saying now that he's the best fighter in the UK. I don't know about that. Best fighter in the UK, I don't know about that. That's kind of hard to say. I mean, has the potential. I thought it. I mean, I was saying something like that, close to that last year. But you still got Dubois. If Dubois lose to Usyk, I don't know. That may affect it, but I don't know, man. 168 is tough right now. But that was a good fight card last night, man. I thought Berlanga was gonna come out and at least try to throw some bombs, but he couldn't handle it, man. That guy's not that good. And I've critiqued him over the years, like especially like earlier this year. I said recently he'll never be a champion, but that's just because it's guys like this around. And I didn't even think they was gonna fight. But it's guys like this around. And he's coming up from 160. That's the worst part. Guys coming from 160 and giving Berlanga the toughest fight he can handle. It's crazy. Yeah, that's not good though. It's really not. A lot of people gonna try to fight him now. Because him losing, it still makes his name more notable. It ain't gonna stop nothing. It's still boxing. But yeah, he's definitely gonna be on everybody's radar now, though. No question. I've been hearing about Shiraz for a minute now. But earlier this year, yeah, he did get criticized, but he's still young. They had to find out what he's about. They definitely had to find out. And with Shakur last night, I felt like he wasn't really ever in trouble. I think that one time he did trip, it looked like he got hurt, but I think he tripped more than anything. Looked like he caught himself on one foot and fell back. But I don't think he was hurt by any of the power shots Zepeda was throwing. I think he beat Zepeda down to the point where he couldn't even throw many punches the last 3 rounds. Like from round 9 to the end, he couldn't even throw that many punches. A lot of people said it was 5-5 the score. They looking at Zepeda just throwing punches and hitting elbows and arms. That's really what was going on. They seen Zepeda hitting arms and elbows, and they scoring those punches. And all those not landing. Yeah, but Hamzah Sheeraz, bro, he's a beast, though. Definitely a beast. He is definitely a beast. They gonna find out now. I heard so many people shot last night about Hamzah talent and Shakur Stevenson. I don't know why they thought these guys was fighting on Riyadh season cards. I mean, Ring magazine. So, and Shakur showed them last night. I guess what they haven't seen. I felt like he could have got knocked out last night, though. I keep saying that, but I usually don't say stuff like that. But bro, I feel like he could have got knocked out. The way he was, Zepeda head was snapping all the way around, like 180 every time he was punching him. He'll just throw a couple of punches, boom, 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 boom. But yeah, he was hurting Zepeda last night. Yeah, he was hurting them bad. I felt like, man, this dude can get a knockout, man. And if he would have kept going, he could have got a knockout. If Shakur would have kept pressing the issue, he would have got a knockout. He wasn't really blocking punches like that either. He was just walking through most the ones he could catch on the arm. Zepeda was getting tired. He was beating Zepeda up to the point where Zepeda was getting tired. Then he's punching. Then he just started blocking the rest of them. Yeah, it got easy, man. Zepeda he had nothing to do. To be honest with you, he had no game plan. He got outworked the whole fight. Yeah, I don't know why people didn't notice how tired he got. And that was from him taking punches. I thought he'll be able to land a big shot. The one punch he did land on Shakur, I mean, you can say it was a good punch, but if we count that punch, that was the only one. Shakur had like three of those in one combination. So yeah, that's not really a big deal to me. At the moment, I thought he possibly could have been hurt, but no. Even when Zepeda did land a punch, he didn't really follow up good with it. Yeah, he didn't follow up well at all. It looked like he never worked that hard and punched that much. Like towards the 10th round, it looked like he never moved that much before, punched that much before. His legs was hurting walking to the corner. You could tell, you could see him picking his legs up to walk to the corner. I'm like, man, yeah, this dude's getting beat up pretty bad right now. But yeah, really, at this point, it just depends on the opponent. The opponent has to, force Shakur to knock him out. If these guys ain't really pressing the issue like that, well, he ain't got to knock you out. I knew that going into the fight. But what I will say is a lot of guys don't want to go at Shakur to the point where they may get dropped or anything like that. I seen Zepeda last night and decide that I'm going to go the distance, but I ain't going to get knocked out. because Shakur wasn't holding, he wasn't running or moving around. He was hitting them with clean shots, walking them to the center of the ring, and exchanging. And Zepeda decided, man, I'm not trying to get in any big exchanges. And that's disappointing. I'm gonna be honest with you. Shakur, he kind of punking these guys out here. I gotta say it. A lot of these guys he fighting, he punking them a lot of ways. You got De Los Santos talking about he wasn't throwing a lot of punches. Yeah. Then you got Zepeda. He's kind of like laying off, especially the last couple of rounds, not taking a chance, throwing a big bomb. Yeah, it was just like jabs to the body. Good strategy because he kept Shakur on the ropes and everything else. It was a good strategy, but Shakur was in the mode last night to where he was like, if you want somebody to have a chance to knock me out, I'm gonna give Zepeda a chance, and he couldn't do it. No excuses. So what if he go out there and never fight like that again? He might be like, man, I'm tired of fighting like that. So Zepeda really wasted a good opportunity. Yeah, he wasted a very good opportunity. He could have took advantage of that. But yeah, he went throwing a lot of power shots last night. I don't know what the strategy was, but he kept jabbing though. For sure he kept jabbing. I'm not gonna lie, he's an elite boxer. I can't take that away from him. He was jabbing to the body. He was stabbing to the body, to be honest with you. He was like, boom, boom, boom. Anytime you get in trouble. I was like, oh, okay, that's what's saving him a little bit. But when the combination started to get thrown, yeah, he didn't want it. He definitely did not want it. He could have pressed a little bit harder. Someone said Berlanga had 20 birds flying circles around on top. Cause shout out to Fly Eagles Fly. Man, Berlanga, man. People do not like that trash he be talking. Man. Bro be talking so much trash. That's why I said last year. He got saved not fighting Benavidez. Man, he got saved. If he would have jumped in the ring with Benavidez, they would have been all over Berlanga. Yeah, he dropped the ball last night. That was a very like Tim Tszyu versus Bachman. That's why Tim Tszyu this weekend, it'll be very hard for me to pick him, man. Last night was just a reminder, like, man, that's how Tim Tszyu looked at last fight. Then he got to fight a guy this weekend that's like the same size as Sheeraz. Yeah, it might not go well. Yeah, this gonna be a hard one. Yeah, I don't think Berlanga thought that Sheeraz punched harder than him. I think in his mind, he was like, whatever punch he could throw, I can take it. I was in the ring with Canelo. I could take his punches. I should have watched more interviews. I think this week I gotta watch more interviews, man. I've been slipping. I'm pretty sure I can go back in the interview and hear him saying something like that. I would have been like, nah, he tripping. Cause that's what it looked like last night. It looked like he was like, man, I'm finna walk through every punch. If I get caught, I get caught. Yeah. Yeah, these guys doing that, man. And he's not the only one. I'm telling you, Tim Zoo did that. He fought Fundora, and for some strange reason, he was thinking, okay, I fought Fundora so I can walk through this guy Baccarat punches. And he said it too. He was like, but Baccarat, but Berlanga didn't try to knock out Sheeraz last night. He was trying to box with him. I think that's the only difference between what Berlanga did and what Tim Zoo did against Baccarat. Because I think last night Berlanga was trying to box for like the third or fourth round. I guess he was rusty because he wasn't boxing a lot since the Canelo fight. But yeah, man, you can't use the first couple of rounds to be warming up like that. Yeah, but Shakur showed out last night, man. I thought he had a good performance. I like what I seen. I think everybody knows now that he's not a guy that is just out here talking. I think lately a lot of people been saying that he's just a talker and he ain't gonna show up in the ring like that. But last night should definitely show a lot of people why he's. That's why I said guys like Teofimo. Teofimo can't beat no Shakur Stevenson. Teofimo can't beat Shakur Stevenson. So he's talking like he's on that level. Not to throw his name out here right now, but I'm just telling you, like he's been getting a lot more respect than Shakur probably the last 2 or 3 years. I know people will say nah, but the way Shakur boxes, he been doing this a while now. There's a lot of guys that have been getting a lot of respect more than him. And he don't run from no action in the ring. Really, these other guys ain't. They don't engage. Zapata had every opportunity last night. And the main thing somebody gonna say is, I bet he won't do that against Tank. But man, the guy last night should have did it. You only need one time. That's what I was disappointed in. I'm like, man, if he gonna sit there in front of this guy, he needs to take advantage of it. But he took that excuse away though. He definitely took it away. He definitely took that excuse away. Man, that was a good performance last night. I think the fight card this weekend probably gonna be better. Probably. Still got some room for improvement. It's a lot of big fights coming on. I think it's gonna be probably more knockouts or stoppages. Yeah, I like what I'm seeing right now. And then we had the Matias fight that people are talking about right now. that's That argument right there, bro. These people are insane out here. I could have said it was a draw either way, but for that fight to be in the way it did, that was disappointing. Because I did say, hey, it's closer than what people think it is. I did say that. That's what a lot of people got, I think, confused about last night. The fight was closer than a lot of people expected or realized. Yeah, I think a lot of fights was closer than people realized. But that was one of them. And yeah, you got a lot of people going back and forth about who won and who they feel like won. Um, I don't know. I've been back and forth about it because could have went either way, no matter depending on what you're looking at. To be honest with you, because everybody agrees that one person was super aggressive, and the other person was, boxing and landing cleaner shots. So depending on what you're looking at, and certain judges judge certain things different. Or they might not just like the guy. Who knows? That can happen too. Puello's not a huge fan favorite, so it could be that. It could be a lot of different things, but from what I seen last night, it could have went either way. I think they still gonna be contenders at 140. That's why it's not really a big deal like that because somebody had to lose. And if you ask me, Matias was supposed to fight uh Teofimo recently. He would have beat Teofimo in my opinion. I don't think Teofimo could have did anything with that performance last night. Because Matias actually looked better than he did his last two fights since he lost. Since he lost, he ain't looked that good. Last night, he actually has looked better. I know people say he don't got defense. Yeah, but you got to keep the guy up off of you though. What's up, PD? But yeah, he definitely didn't I don't think he won though. But he's still gonna be a factor no matter what though. If he would have lost last night, he would have still been in the picture at 140. You know what I'm saying? The guys ain't gonna have a belt, but nobody gonna be wanting to fight Puello anytime soon. So they know what it is. And he already got big wins on his resume, so you can't really move around him like that. So yeah, these fights do happen like that where a guy lose a close fight. It's gonna be stuff happening like that, but I think with Turkey, he'll make sure guys get back in the ring again. Because I don't know how Jarrell Miller keeps finding fights. This dude pulling out of fights. He pulled out of like two fights. I think a Chisora fight and Fabio Wardley. Still got another fight though. So yeah, they said that I think the ring executive said it. It's not a big deal if guys lose. I mean, it's boxing. Now the way guys lose, it's gonna be a big deal. It's definitely gonna be a big deal. The way Berlanga lost last night, that's a big deal. That's why everybody talking about it. I mean, he went out there and lost in the worst way. It was over before we could even figure out what was going on. When I seen him go to the corner after he got knocked down the first two times, I said, yeah, it's over. I said, yeah, it's over. But yeah, Puello, man, he did a good job boxing last night. But you know, man, either way, it's gonna be hard to figure out. Yeah, you said pot dirty 2 times. Um, shoot, you said with no belt. Um, at 140. This how I'm looking at it, PD. At 140, right? And this is a real scenario. At 140, I think a lot of those guys gonna have to make a decision because Shakur gonna move up to 140 soon. They got Keyshawn down there last night talking to Turkey. So he gonna be having some fights at 140 soon. Um, I mean, they can either choose to fight a guy like Puello or lose your belt to Shakur. They're gonna have Dalton Smith possibly get a belt from Matias soon, but he's still gonna have to fight somebody else. That situation happened with Liam Paro. So yeah, I think they all gonna have a chance to redeem themselves. That's why I ain't tripping that much. I thought about it, PD, but you know, with Turkey around, I don't think it's gonna be that much of a big deal like it used to be. If this was like 2 years ago, I would have said, yeah, he ain't getting the belt no more. But I don't know, man. The way PBC doing, you see how Gary Antoine Russell had got a belt right after he lost his belt to Puello. Yeah, they making things happen right now. But the people that saying he possibly couldn't won, like they talking about he was holding too much last night. Man, come on, man. That's the thing that's kind of irritating me. It's like people talking about he was holding too much last night. If he was holding, that don't mean he was supposed to lose a fight if he was holding. I don't understand that. They talking about, yeah, he was holding. First of all, bro was pushing Matias off of him because he was leaning on him and not throwing anything. So he like, all right, he gonna make me fall over if I don't push him off of me. He just trying to walk straight through me without throwing a punch. So yeah, that's the only thing I seen was him when he kept pushing him and pushing him and pushing him. And he looked like he was tired too. He was winded. But as far as holding, nah, that wasn't no factor last night. In no fights. When nobody trying to hold nobody last night. That's definitely not true. That's how you know some people think that he won. The first thing somebody say is, man, I think that Matias got robbed. I mean, Puello got robbed. Then the first thing they say is, well, he shouldn't have been holding. What they got to do with what they got to do with how he was fighting? That don't mean he lost. Yeah, that ain't good. That's definitely not good. Yeah, and the only reason I'm saying that because Puello, man, he's a lot better than people realize, and he had the hardest route to get a belt. Had to fight Russell, then he fought Martin recently. Then he fought Matias. Ain't nobody trying to fight Matias. Just last year, Keyshawn and Tank said Matias was the boogeyman at 140. But if Matias get past Dalton Smith, I watch Matias fight Keyshawn. Yeah, no points were taken away. Like people just be saying anything, bro. Anything. No points were taken away. Yeah, exactly. But my thing is, what I don't understand, PD, they don't see this man last night. You know how Turkey do. Let me get the remote. See if they posted the fight. They didn't see last night this man drop his arms and he was like, I'm not finna engage. That man dropped his arms like at round 8 or 9. He did the same thing Zapata did. He started laying off. That's why I was like, man, because I thought he was winning around that round, like round 8, 9. I thought Matias was winning. Then Puello, I think around round 10. I think he won that round. That's when it got even. And then I think he won the last two. I mean the last two. And they said on CompuBox that Matias won the 9th round or 8th round, something like that. So yeah, technically, yeah, Puello was up. And he was up on the not the CompuBox, but the the card they show on the broadcast. He was up on their card. But like I said, I don't think it's a big deal. I think both of those guys still get a chance to fight at 140, big names, which they will. They can end up fighting again for undisputed. I wouldn't be surprised. Because to be honest with you, it ain't too many guys at 140 trying to fight both of them anyways. I noticed that last year. Well, not Puello. I noticed that with him this year, but it's not too many guys trying to get a ring with him anyway, with both of those guys. So that was like a fight where you can get both of them out of the way or one of those guys out of the way. 140, if you look at the rankings. I ain't look at the CompuBox. I'm gonna look when I get off of here. I'm gonna rewatch everything. But it seemed like because I was watching Matias, he was working early. You know, they was getting mad at me because I was giving them credit for certain punches. But when it got to like round 9, that's when everything was done. His arms was tired. His legs was gone. A lot of people didn't notice that either. But Matias' legs was tired. It was like Puello legs was done at like round 6 or 7. And he had to get a second win. So he was like sitting for a couple of rounds. But Matias, his legs was gone at like round 9. Yeah, he didn't have no power on his punches like that. That's why Puello was landing some hard shots. But it was a close fight though. I had a draw in my mind when I was watching it. I wasn't scoring it round for round, but in my mind I had it as a draw. I thought it was that close of a fight. I'm just glad the fight was good though. I'm just glad the fight was good because Morrell fight kind of took the shine a little bit. Oh, they have 7-5 on 2 cards. It's crazy. I'm disappointed they took it on that fight. Yeah, I was saying that too. I knew he had a chance to lose. I definitely knew Puello had a chance to lose. I thought he was losing at certain points of the fight. But I gotta go back and watch it. He probably did lose. I don't know. It was one of those fights I might have to go back and watch again. But I had him to be honest with you, I wanted to pick either guy. I wanted to pick Matias or him. So I ain't really tripping. But yeah, I ain't want Puello to lose though. After what he just did at 140, to have a loss, that'd be crazy. But I guarantee at that weight class, both of those guys will end up fighting each other again. Matias just got to get past Dalton Smith. If he don't get past Dalton Smith, then it'll be Puello. Yeah, that coming forward stuff crazy, bro. I said that. I said that during the fight too. I said, depending on how they judging, they might get this guy to score just for coming forward. Yeah, I said they might give him credit for just coming forward, and they did. But he was landing a lot of shots too. But if you look at the rounds, by the way they're talking like by the time the eighth round came around, Matias had already won 6, 7 rounds. Well, 6 rounds, something like that. 7 rounds already. Nah, no way. By the eighth round, he had already won 6 rounds. That's the way they talking because by the time the ninth round came around, he had nothing he was really doing. I think he might have won the ninth barely. But 3 rounds after that, he lost 10, 11, 12. But that was good action in that fight, though. That was very good action. I would watch that again. I thought they could have threw more. I mean, they weren't punching a lot, but it wasn't a style they usually fight with. Puello usually fight like that, but Matias, he was jabbing a lot more. I was looking for him to throw a lot more left hooks. And to be honest with you, and get Puello up out of there. I feel like Matias should have threw more left hooks and right hands. He could have got Puello up out of there. So to be honest with you, they should have another fight, but a lot of people said they should. I think the second fight will be actually better. It seemed like the way they was fighting, they was caught off guard by how each guy was fighting. I think Puello, he expected Matias to open up a lot more like he did on the Paro fight. But that definitely didn't happen. As soon as I seen Matias come out with 2 jabs, he was moving his head, then he threw like a right hand. I was like, oh yeah, this dude finna, he coming to box. I think he won the first round. Matter of fact, I think he won the first 3 rounds. So that's why he probably won the fight. I kind of forget about that a little bit. You know, it's been a lot of fights this weekend. But he won the first 3 rounds, so they kind of looking at it. I don't know. Puello probably could have got the 3rd round. But that's the way they looking at it. They like, oh yeah, he came out fast. He moving forward. He won the first 2 rounds and he moving forward. Yeah, give him the fight. But I think more than anything, the referees was terrible. I can't remember what the referees was doing yesterday, but Friday it was so bad. Friday referees was horrible. Yeah, that was the worst I've seen in a minute. Yeah, it was a good fight weekend though, man. I like what they had going on. You know, the card got crazy because as soon as it started, when Dave Morrell got popped, I was like, oh, they finna have guys getting knocked out like that on this card. And somebody said it too. I forgot who said in the comments, they was like, hey, I feel like Morrell finna get upset. I think it was Jordan Smith who said it. So I think Morrell finna get upset. Yeah, that Morrell. I didn't hear the score. Everybody was crying about the commentary. I haven't heard no commentary yet. They was crying about the commentary last night. I'm trying to figure out what commentary they was talking about. They was talking about Sergio or Lampley. Yeah, Morrell was tripping, bro. He had like he was in a sparring match, bro. I'm like, what are you doing, man? He looked like he was in a sparring match. That was not a good performance. He said Morrell won by like 2 rounds, I think. That's crazy for a 10-round fight. Yeah, that is. Especially in that fight. And you know, a lot of people was just looking at the fight unbiased, mostly because you know guys ain't really know who the other guy was. Morrell got dropped, but he was getting outboxed too early. Like he couldn't get away from the right hand. The dude just kept on the right hand. Boom, boom, boom. And it just kept landing. He couldn't get out of the way of the right hand. The guy kept landing over and over. Yeah, and I said that before. I was like, Morrell, he kind of does some extra things in the ring, but he got to get away from that. But yesterday definitely showed that he keep playing like that at light heavyweight, he gonna get knocked out. Yeah, it is too it's too much. Yeah, when he chased that fight to fight Benavidez, moving up to 175, I think it was too early. He put on some size though. The fight last night, he was bigger than he was in the Benavidez fight, and I think that was part of the problem. Last night he was moving around like Anthony Joshua or something. I kid you not, he looked like a heavyweight last night. The way he was moving. That's what stood out to me about Morrell last night. As soon as the fight started, I said, dude, like he looks stiff, like he's a heavyweight, and he looks like he's put on some weight, just not moving well. And the guy across from him is more athletic. He was dropping more, moving around, turning. I'm like, I would have never thought a Russian light heavyweight would be more athletic. Yeah, that's the crazy thing about it. I just never thought that would happen. And Morrell is a beast too, man. Morrell is a beast, but that performance last night, he might get knocked out, and he might end up like Anthony Yard at 175. Yeah, him and Morrell almost got the same amount of fights though. So you know when Morrell just fought Benavidez and that hot rod guy. They almost got the same amount of fights. Yeah, his countering is amazing. He be training with Cambosis. They move like Cambosis too. He just got a lot of power though, and fast, athletic, strong. Yeah, them Russian guys. That, yeah, I've been talking about him on the channel for like a year now. Him, Shiraz, the guy Katyov and Shiraz. Yeah, I'll be talking about them on every live I be doing. I be knowing who next for real. I'll definitely be knowing who next. I didn't know they was gonna make that fight now though, with that guy. But yeah, if you look at some of his fights, he don't look that good because he fighting guys with experience, and he only got 10 fights, so he look kind of trash sometimes. But the only thing I noticed about the dude was he a light heavyweight. He throw a lot of punches. He throw a lot of combinations. Dude punch like he Bam Rodriguez or something, like a small guy. He throwing a lot of punches. Yeah, that was crazy, wasn't it? He said he made Morrell stop jabbing. That was crazy. That was the craziest thing I seen the whole fight. I said Morrell scared to jab. What a right hand. That dude right hand was so fast. Boom. And Morrell just sitting there looking like, yeah, man, that guy's good. The way I don't know who matched that fight up. If it was Turkey, he did a good job with that one. I don't know who did the matchmaking on that one, but they definitely need their credit. Morrell versus Katia, that was my favorite fight yesterday. I know we had a fight before that, but to start off the big fights, yeah, I said that too. I said that too, PD. I think that might happen. That probably will happen after next year, though. I think next year they'll probably try to have Benavidez in the ring with Bivol or Benavidez, Bitterbeer or Bivol, but yeah, I don't think they're gonna try to have that guy in the ring with Benavidez yet. They'll probably have Morrell rematch him before that happens. But I think the only reason they'll move on because they'll probably have that guy fight Willie Hutchison or Joshua Buatsi or probably Cullen Smith. I think he's still gonna be a tough fight for all those guys. So he might be in the same position as what a lot of these other guys are that lost with Ring or Riyadh. Just got to bounce back. But yeah, he a beast though. I seen him throwing them combinations recently. I was like, yeah, this dude. I'm not gonna lie, I was close to picking him. I was close to picking him. I wanted to pick him, Matias. My original list was him, Matias, Shakur, and Shiraz. And I think last week I changed to Puello, and I changed to who I picked was Berlanga. I picked Puello, Shakur, and I picked Morrell. But yeah, most of those guys I watched yesterday, I like them. Those are the people I watch most of the time. That's why I said Turkey. I can't really complain about the card. I knew everybody was focused on the shrinking of the ring and everything else, but I'm like, bro, these some good matchups. These matchups are better than the matchups that was on the Ryan Garcia card. And not only that card, they was better than the matchups that was on the Canelo card. So yeah, these were some good matchups. They definitely were. And Hamzah Sheeraz is must see TV all the time. I think Morrell is too. A lot of these guys that fought yesterday, I think Matias is every time he fight. People say they like to see guys who throw a lot of punches and don't run. He's one of those guys. But I would like to see. I'm not a huge fan of just rematching, but Puello versus Matias, that's a good enough fight to where you can rematch. But if I had to be honest, you don't have to rematch it because the fight might be the same again. No matter how many times they fight. Now Morrell and Katia, I don't know. I would like to see that fight again. Now that fight, I would like to see again. But yeah, even with Puello, if the judges don't like the style, man, they ain't gonna pick him. Even if he is scoring, he's hard to score. I can admit that, but yeah, that's how I'm gonna look at rematches from now on. If I feel like the fight gonna be the same each time, probably just not gonna have too much energy for it. Like the Serrano and Katie Taylor fight. I did not want to see a third fight. I felt like it was a complete waste of time. And it turned out it was, but sometimes it's just a bad style matchup. Sometimes it just is. And I will and I'm gonna look over that again some more, but yeah, man, a lot of people feel like they was robbed on that trilogy. Not robbed like from the entertainment, but just how it ended just wasn't good. It kind of ruined the trilogy, to be honest with you. It's a lot of third fights that ruin trilogies a lot of times. Like Triple G versus Canelo, that ruined the trilogy. Third fight, it ruined it. That wasn't a good third fight. So yeah, a lot of people was disappointed with that fight, and it was on Netflix. You can't be on Netflix playing like that. You just can't do it. You just can't do it. I know a lot of people will say, "Well, Mike Tyson and Jake Paul wasn't good last year." Yeah, but they did numbers. That's what Netflix in the game for. I don't think they tripping too much over if somebody don't throw the left hook. But yeah, they got to show up though. I thought the card was good Friday and yesterday. I didn't see the first fight. I gotta go back and watch it. But yeah, this is a new era though. This is a new era of boxers. Shiraz, all these guys, Berlanga, Shakur, everybody that fought yesterday. It's a new era. It's not the old era of boxing. So yeah, they stepped up and they entertain. They really saving boxing right now. We need some fight cards that leave a good impression that you could talk about in a good way. That's why I'm not really tripping over the results. You know, I am, but trust me, I am. But it's gonna be so many good fights coming on. Like guys will have a chance to redeem themselves. I'm pretty sure they will. They've been having that chance so far, from what I'm seeing. Yeah, I'm talking about. I've been seeing guys fighting again. I'm like, whoa, Turkey finna do another fight with him? Yeah, he's not really tripping like other promoters would, and he's making fights easy too. It's not like he's going through a lot to build something up. just going straight with the fight up, and then had the next fight made up, like with Dalton Smith and Matias already. People already knew that Matias and Dalton Smith would be fighting in November before Matias even got out of the ring. So that show you right there what boxing going. Before a guy get out of the ring, you know he gonna fight next. That's everything people been asking for. It's not a matchup guys is asking for, but he's the number one contender though. So it's just next man up. But yeah, I'm disappointed Puello ain't get the win, but he's such a good fighter. He's gonna get another opportunity. That's why I'm putting pressure on guys at 140. I was really gonna start putting pressure on guys at 140 to start fighting him, but or trying to fight him because he was never supposed to fight Matias. Matias was supposed to fight Teofimo Lopez a couple of months ago. Yeah, and Puello, he would have ended up fighting at 140. Who's at 140? It's kind of hard to say right now who Matias would have fought at 140. Oh, no, it's not. Yeah, no, it's not. Oh, Puello at 140? No, it's not. I know he would have fought. Actually, I know. I don't know if they're going to do that, but maybe they will. So, yeah, Matias was going to fight. Yeah, he was going to fight somebody else. So, yeah, I know who they would have probably put Puello in the ring with. Now I found out. Yeah, I heard somebody say something recently. I'm going to put it in the chat. Yeah, Dominus was saying something about that last night. Yeah, Dominus said that last night. Yeah, that's crazy, man. Then they just had De Los Santos not even couldn't even get in the ring recently. I haven't seen Hector Garcia. I don't know where Hector Garcia at. Yeah, man, Turkey got to do something. It might not be. I don't think it's Turkey though. I think it's the other guys because they had a lot of guys from the UK ringside last night. Man, you saw that last night, bro? I thought the fight was in the UK. You saw how many UK guys was at ringside last night, bro? The fight was in America, and they had more they had more UK guys ringside last night. Adama said if Sheeraz wanted, I'm with the 168 to fight him. He said, I'm not typing behind no phone. He said he done? He retired? What's up, Native Wild Man? What's going on? Shout out to Wild Man. He retired? He said he was gonna go to 135. Man, he tripping. He better get that try to get a turkey bag. Dang. Yeah, I haven't heard of him in a minute. It said something last year, I think. Man, it might not even been last year. Let me see some. He said he got paid living. Yeah, he fought Roach that last fight and said recently that he was moving to the 135. Oh, look. I know this dude ain't hung it up already. Yeah, brother, hung it up, man. It's over. Yeah, he hung it up. It's over. He ain't even doing nothing. Oh man, that's crazy. Yeah, I seen it. I thought it was a video. That was a live. If I would have known it was a live, I would have clicked on it. I didn't know you was out there last night. Yeah, I seen you out there last night. I was like, nah, that's just a video. Yeah, I didn't know that was live though. Yeah, it's been hot out there, man. It was raining, but it ain't raining no more. But yeah, man, Turkey out here, they just setting up these fights, man. I don't know. As far as the results, we're gonna be mad regardless. If fights go a certain way. It's getting out of hand right now. But we're just looking at certain things, see how they're gonna go, but they gotta get those scores better. Like Friday, the refereeing was terrible. Then Saturday, oh, okay, made a few shots. All right, that's what's up. That's what I thought. Saturday, the judges was terrible. Judges was terrible, man. This dude Puello went up there to defend his belt. Been fighting all these tough fights. It's like they expect him to have the toughest fights. And I wonder why a lot of people, that's why I tell people, man, they should have put pressure on Tiafimo, man. They put pressure on Puello to fight Sandor Martin, Gary Russell, and dang on what's our boy name? Sabril Matias in 12 months. And they're gonna let Tiafimo sit on that belt. Tio should be fighting Puello. Puello fighting all these tough guys at 40. And he fought the guy that Tio was supposed to fight. Man, that's crazy. I ain't say he the reason why he lost his belt, but the man can't fight everybody at 140. Like, come on now. This dude can't fight everybody at 140. They almost had little Esau Cruz fighting at 47 against Ryan. Like, man, these dudes can't fight everybody. That's why certain guys get their credit. But yeah, Puello, I think he's gonna be in a position like Barrios was at 40. Um, and when he eventually move up, he probably gonna be stronger. I don't know. The way he moving right now, it'll be kind of crazy for me to say it right now because but he could possibly be doing the same things Barrios doing soon. He kind of like in the same position. But that's crazy though that oh yeah, appreciate that, man. Hit the like button for me. And that's crazy that Gary Russell got a belt and now Puello got no belt. And the crazy part is with Gary Russell not having with Puello not having a belt, would you would you rematch him if you Gary Russell? Or do you need or does Puello need a belt? Would that be a good reason to fight him, like for the belt or to get your revenge back, to avenge your loss? Yeah, we gotta see, man. We definitely gotta see. Cause if I'm a boxer and I seen the fights I seen yesterday, I'm gonna be like, yeah, I'm trying to fight all these guys. Morrell at 75, he looked like food yesterday. And I like Morrell. He looked like food though. And then Morrell waited till the last round to try to get Buddy up out of there. What Bradman said, just because one guy comes forward and the other is more of a boxer, it doesn't mean the one coming forward is always tougher. Yeah, that's kind of what pertains to that playoff fight though. Yeah, I would like to see that rematch though. I definitely would. Man, it's my Andy Lee getting a lot of support for the Hamzah Sheeraz fight. Oh yeah, Sheeraz can get a lot of credit for this one. I'm just looking at this up real quick. My bad. Yeah, man. It ain't too much going on in the news right now. But these fights coming up this weekend, I think they're gonna be better than the fights that came on this weekend. That's hard to say, but I don't know. We got Pitbull coming up again this weekend with Puello, so they like that fight so much they want to run it back again. I knew they had a chance of being fight of the year, so that's why they running that back again. But at 35, the pay they're gonna have telling you, the guys who lost, it's gonna be a lot of people looking to fight them. Hopefully, a couple of them can get a chance in a championship fight. But right now, that's gonna be hard. They're trying to put Andy Cruz and Miritai together, but if they don't fight, down the line, they're gonna try to put Zepeda in another fight. But yeah, that wasn't a performance that a lot of people think was good from a lot of people. Well, not a lot, but it's people that said he was up on the cards. It was close. He won. Nah, they just trying to argue. That definitely didn't happen. To be honest with you, you're gonna have a lot of trouble at 135. I think Abdullah Mason will probably be a hard fight with him. Right now, yeah, it'll probably be a hard fight for him. Yeah, I think it will. They ain't got too many fights being talked about. Oh, they got the stats from the Serrano and Katie Taylor fight. The third fight, they said Amanda Serrano threw 382 punches, landed 70. That ain't good. That's a bad stat. They told my Serrano ain't landing that many punches this weekend. They both landed 70 punches. Yeah, that's not good. That's why the fight looked. That's why the fight looked the way it did. That was a boring fight. I wouldn't say boring, but for a trilogy, man, it was boring. Compared to last night, it was. But yeah, as far as Shiraz, though, he gonna have a lot of challengers at 168. I think I already knew he was a beast, but I don't think it changed my thought as far as what he could do at 168. I think he got a lot of tough challenges at 168. So I don't think he's just gonna go up there and dominate, but he got a good chance to be the guy out there, especially when you beat a guy like Berlanga the way he did. He definitely has a chance to go up there and dominate. But it's too early to say right now. It's definitely way too early. I might come back tonight or tomorrow talk about that Usyk fight. They got Bam Rodriguez fighting this weekend too. Yeah, boxing's starting to get legit. We got Carissa Shields in 2 weeks. Pacquiao this weekend. Can't believe Pacquiao fighting again. I thought Pacquiao was done. I was like, man, I ain't gonna never see Pacquiao fight again. And this dude fighting Barrios again this weekend. Oh, they're playing music. You said they're playing music at the lake. That's crazy. Let's give you copyrighted. But yeah, man, I want to see. I had some matchups in my mind already, but at 175 with Dave Morrell, let me look at that real quick. Yeah, Dave Morrell won. Man, I'm gonna be honest with you. The way Morrell fighting, he got some tough challenges down there. The way Morrell fighting, he got some tough fights. Yeah, I think he got some tough fights. And he's not that far apart from a lot of other people. Yeah, he gonna have some tough fights in that weight class. But I think the guy he fought is a beast though. Cartier was better than Colonel Wallace. He's better than Hot Rod. Yeah, you got some names up there. Khalil Colt and Morrell, that'll be a good fight. Cartier and Khalil Colt. That would be a good fight. That actually would be a good fight. I wonder what they're gonna do as far as what that guy Morrell fought. Are they gonna give him another chance at a big fight? Because from what I'm seeing, you said you don't think he'll win? Yeah, yeah, I agree. Yeah, I definitely agree with that one. Man, if I gotta let me go to another weight class real quick. Let me go to super middleweight. Man, bro, Berlanga gonna have a hard time coming back, bro. If you look at the names at 168, and I already got a fight that Berlanga need to take. I already got somebody he need to fight. He most likely gonna have to fight him. Yeah, Berlanga gonna have a hard time bouncing back. They got a lot of names at that weight class. They got the guy who just beat Caleb Plant. Got Caleb Plant. Uh, you still got Skull. Still got Lester Martinez is a tough fight for Berlanga. Like Lester Martinez is a very tough fight for Berlanga. Yeah, man, he gonna have a hard time at 68, bro. I said that going into this fight. I was like, man, if Berlanga loses this fight, he gonna have a hard time. So yeah, he might rack up a couple of losses at 68. Because Pacheco, I think Pacheco can beat him. Iglesias, I think can beat him. Steven Nelson, possibly. It'll be close. Lester Martinez, yeah, I think Lester can get him. Uh, Callum Simpson, I don't know. That'll be close. And then Beck, man, they might end up throwing Berlanga in the ring with Beck in the mirror. Christian and Billy, you might want to stay away from him right now. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, that'll be a good one. Plant. I had Plant, Steven Nelson, Plant or I don't know, Lester Martinez, they get whooped by right now. Or throw him in the ring with Bektamir. Bektamir be a good fight. Derevchenko 39, bro. I'm not trying. I mean, he probably would struggle with Derevchenko, but they always try to throw somebody on Derevchenko. Yeah, but he gonna have some hard fights, bro. And Hamzah Sheeraz is gonna have some tough fights. They got Jamal Charlo ranked high at 168 now. Hamzah Sheeraz might have a chance to get Charlo up out of there. Yeah, 168 still that it's still a good weight class. After Crawford, I don't think Canelo fight no more 68s. They too dangerous. All these guys is like 6'5". They look like basketball players or tight ends and wide receivers. Yeah, everybody's 6'4" knocking people out. It's just at 168. Yeah, it's dangerous right now. I'll just say that. And that weight class is very dangerous. And then the guy Berlanga just got knocked out by he ain't even a 168. I mean, yeah, he was a 160. Now he's a 68, but dude was a 160 a couple of weeks ago. That's where it's getting scary at, bro. You got dudes coming up from 160 beating guys up. I told everybody. I'm gonna say it now because I'm gonna talk about it a little more. I've been talking about 2 years now. It's a reason why Janovic don't want to move from that 160. I don't know what it is about 68, but he sees what I see, or his people see. His people can see what I see. They definitely can see because Caleb Plant got beat by a guy who wasn't even ranked top 20 or top 10. So just imagine the guys that's not top 10. They can beat these other fighters. They starting to step up now. Yeah, it's starting to get younger and younger. I don't think it's an age thing. I think it's a just guys is hungry. Like a lot of these guys they never had no belt. That's why with Shiraz tried to get that belt from Adamas, it didn't happen. He moved up, and he's like one of the youngest doing this. You would expect that from the older fighters, but he's one of the youngest moving up trying to fight certain guys with big names. And people didn't feel like he was a main event fighter. But I'm here to tell people he's definitely main event. I haven't told people out loud that I felt like this, but I always felt like he was like a Benavidez level type of fighter. The way he moved, you can see it. You can see it. You can definitely see it. I was expecting Berlanga to take fights like this a while ago, but he just never stepped up and did it, man. And they caught up to him, to be honest with you. They caught up straight to him. Then I had did a reaction to I had did a reaction to a post I had last night about the fight. Bro, listen to what somebody said about the fight last night. Listen to this. Somebody says you're talking about Katiev is beating Morrell. Katiev lost before he stepped in the ring when he tested it positive. What the hell are you talking about? Yeah, these dudes are stupid, man. I'm telling you, boxing got some of the dumbest fans. This dudes just be reacting like saying stupid stuff to facts. So nobody thought Katiev was winning the fight last night because he was positive before the fight, bruh. First of all, it's a lot of guys that's positive before a fight and still be getting credit for what they be doing in the ring. But the guy that ain't test positive for this fight though. It's a difference. Not everybody a PED expert now. They was saying that what was this dude that when Ryan was testing positive? But yeah, the fights, man, this weekend was huge, man. It was. It was everywhere. Everybody was watching them. It really overshadowed you just UFC altogether. UFC ain't have a big event, but it still got overshadowed. I think they had WWE on or something too. But yeah, a couple people feel like the decisions was bad, but I don't see too many people tripping over it, to be honest with you. I think Shakur Stevenson overshadowed all that stuff that happened last night. People didn't think he was that good, man. I don't know why. I have no idea how Shakur Stevenson been boxing this long. And they just didn't know he was that good. Just didn't know he was that good. And I just found something out too. They talking about Puello has a rematch clause in his contract. Bro, that don't mean nothing, bro. He ain't finna get no rematch. Yeah, they ain't about to get no rematch. He gonna end up having to take that loss to the house. He definitely not getting a rematch. But yeah, man, people ain't know Shakur Stevenson was like that. Shakur's been a problem. That's why the whole running around stuff was just funny to me because it's like they look at this guy box all day and you just think about him running. Now for Zepeda to get beat like that, hey, Shakur daughter said Zepeda I'm not Shakur. She funny. That's hilarious. He almost knocked Zepeda out. I mean, Zepeda almost knocked him out. Yeah, he did get touched a little bit though. She said he almost knocked him out. That's funny. But yeah, man, these guys. The only reason I don't call guys runners a lot because once you get beat by a runner, the way you get beat by him, it's gonna be a bad look. Because one thing I know, Zepeda and Berlanga with Shiraz. See, Berlanga had a lot on the line, man, fighting Shiraz. He don't know it. He gonna find out real soon. I don't want to see no guy like this retire early. But bro, he ain't as far as like the payday situation and main events. That's not the type of thing that's gonna be going on after that performance he had. He gonna be in rebuild mode because he ain't that far from where Jared Anderson was. Yeah, he's not far from where Jared Anderson was. But yeah, Shakur put on a magical performance last night, man. Magical. And to be honest with you, we need to hear some names calling them out. What's up? Has anybody called him out for a fight? Yeah, I don't see nobody calling out Shakur Stevenson no for a fight, man. That man really a threat, bro. Like at first it was like, yeah, Haney fight him. I don't see nobody else pushing no energy behind him to fight. I don't see nobody putting no energy behind it. And I'm gonna look at these rankings real quick. And I'm gonna be honest with you too. Even though Andy Cruz, he just turned pro or whatever, man, he need to be pressing for fights like Shakur Stevens. He should be fighting guys like Shakur right now. Matter of fact, that fight should be next. Still got Miritai out there. Yeah, they need to make something like that happen next, man. Yeah, they definitely need to have something like that next. Cause there ain't that many options to be honest with you. Cause they already looking at Roach. The way they do it though, they'll stick him in the ring with Albert Bell or something. Yeah, 35 looking kind of slim, bro. He might have to circle the block on that Floyd Schofield fight. Yeah, Shakur might have to fight Schofield again. It ain't too many names at 35 for real. I knew that, but for some reason I just keep checking. I don't know why. I just keep looking. Oh yeah, they was talking about Shakur Foster, but he ain't gonna walk, he ain't gonna wait on that. And he's already been at 130, so well yeah, that Shakur Foster fight would be good. I'll watch that. That's the only guy from 30 I'll watch him fight though. Him or Roach. Yeah, Shakur came out and fought I mean if he fought Shakur Foster or Roach from 130, yeah, I'll watch those fights. I think anybody else ain't really a factor like that. Yeah, I don't think they really a factor. But last night, man, it was the fights I seen. They was entertaining. But I don't know what people really looking at, to be honest with you though. I see everybody putting up the stats already. I was telling people about last year. I warned them already. But I think Buddy just doing this because he probably a Hamzah Sheeraz fan. Because that's usually when people start doing stuff like this. They pulling out them Canelo stats now. And I told them last year about this. Now everybody want to criticize Canelo. Canelo resume been like that. And I'm probably gonna talk about that more tomorrow. I did so many lives on that last year. It'd be a waste of time for me to talk about it right now. But yeah, I warn people about these resumes that people be talking about. A big name, just knowing somebody's name don't mean nothing. I think that's what Canelo resume is mostly about. People knowing who's on the resume, but doesn't make it a good name. But yeah, as a fighter, he gonna have a. I don't think he gonna have a very hard time at 35, just because it ain't too many Shakur Stevensons out there, so he ain't gonna get beat up by a lot of guys like that at 35. But it's gonna be hard for him to bounce back after that, though. But I seen a performance like that actually happening. We already seen what happened with Tevin Farmer fights against Zepeda. We already knew that was gonna happen. Zepeda performed well, but he did better than I. What I say better than I expected? Nah, he did about what I expected. I was just glad he punched the whole time because it looked like he was ready to hang it up halfway through the fight. It looked like he was definitely ready to hang it up. But yeah, Zepeda, man. Last night I could tell a lot of guys were really fighting though because they had no legs at all. Once you take enough punches to the body where your legs just can't even move, you're definitely taking a lot of damage. But yeah, I seen Zepeda last night. He couldn't even lift his legs up. I'm glad Shakur fought like that though, man. He actually showed up like I expected, and I expected a knockout though. To be honest with you, because if I go out there and see Zepeda get knocked out by somebody, what if Floyd Schofield fights Zepeda and knock him out? That'd be a bad look. That's the only reason I was saying that. Man, that knockout by Berlanga last night was terrible. He got hit so many times, he didn't even try to block it. Everybody talking about Zepeda ain't got no power. Zepeda definitely has power. Uh, Shakur just got a chin. Zepeda didn't stop guys. Eastside Cruz couldn't stop. He definitely got power, but Shakur just got a chin. Yeah, this dude got a chin, man. The technical skills he showed last night, because last night I didn't even notice because I was focused on something else. He was blocking a lot of punches with his shoulder, his arm. He was blocking punches with one arm, with his shoulder. But Shakur showed that he's not gonna run the fight. So that narrative about, man, I ain't gonna fight him, man, because he run. That narrative over with. If these guys don't want to fight, man, they running. The narrative about, man, I can't fight him, man. He be moving too much. He run, Tom and Jerry. That's why I ain't really waste my time talking about it, because I'm like, when he go out here and put hands on Zepeda and don't go nowhere, because he's not known as a runner. To actually say that is kind of amateur, to be honest with you. I mean, the dude had a broke hand or whatever hand injury he had, and he was moving around more than he usually does. And for some reason, people forget that he actually fought the fight instead of canceling the fight with a messed up hand. And because he moved around a lot in that one fight, now all of a sudden he's a runner. Every boxer will believe that. They saying that so they don't gotta fight him. Yeah, yeah, y'all right. He be running. I never fight him. He said he be running, man. And I don't know what's up with these guys. These boxers from the UK was doing all this America and versus UK. Bro, they need to cut out the cornball stuff. I might talk about that tomorrow. They got to cut it out though. That's not even a conversation, and I won't entertain it. I'll probably do a video on it later on though. But yeah, guys got to cut out the cornball stuff. What do Adam Azim put? Berlanga wrote a check. I mean, Mouth wrote a check. Is he couldn't cash? And then you put at USA Boxing. Bro, this ain't got nothing to do with no USA Boxing. These dudes be so corny sometimes. That's like Andrew Ruiz. That's like Andrew Ruiz when he beat Joshua. Me going online and writing the same thing about Joshua. Then I put at UK Boxing. Stews is pathetic sometimes, bro. Seriously. It dudes is pathetic. So when I start doing stuff like that, I don't want nobody to get mad. Because it did get 1,000 likes. Oh yeah, a couple people know what you're talking about. Then somebody said, why do all American boxers have such a big foul mouth? These dudes be listening to Tyson Fury every week. They be like, yeah, but nobody got a bigger mouth than these guys. Get it out of here. Get out of here. Oh yeah, they talking about Clarissa Shields and Layla Ali a lot more. I told everybody, Layla Ali and Clarissa Shields is on the menu. It's definitely a real top fight. But I appreciate everybody for coming through, man. I'm gonna be back on here tomorrow, man. I appreciate everybody coming through the live. Yeah, I'm gonna be back on tomorrow. I'll probably be on late tonight, but it's gonna be like late. Most of y'all will probably be asleep if I come back on later on. But I appreciate everybody for coming through though.